Remember when we covered whether AI would wipe out white-collar jobs? The big names couldn't agree on anything. Well, this week, I sat through a whole round of interviews from an engineering conference, and it turns out the question itself has evolved. The companies at the very frontier are no longer debating whether the jobs will still exist. They're busy tearing the word job apart and rewriting it. Here's the one-sentence takeaway up front. The work hasn't disappeared, but the engineer as a species is splitting into 3 new forms. The ones standing at the production line console, the ones deployed forward to customer sites, and the ones that 46 times curve left stranded in the middle. Today, I'm laying out all 3 for you. The venue is the AI Engineer World's Fair, and this year, 2 phrases were everywhere: software factory and forward deployed engineer. First up, Warp CEO Zach Lloyd. His company started out building terminal tools, and now it's betting everything on becoming a software factory. His definition: software development is going from engineers working interactively with AI to an automated system that's continuously triaging, implementing, reviewing, verifying, and monitoring code changes. Humans aren't in the loop typing code. Humans are out of the loop, watching dashboards.
For this pivot, they shipped an orchestration platform. It connects multiple models and multiple harnesses across local environments and cloud sandboxes. Lloyd's prediction, in his own words: within a year, most significant software projects will be running some form of automated factory. For the record, that's his prediction, and he's also the one selling the factory.
Second, Sierra's Natalie Muir, who runs an engineering team of more than 120 people, a Palantir veteran. She's talking about a different direction entirely. The forward deployed engineer. Engineers don't sit at headquarters writing code. They embed on site with the customer and work deep inside the customer's systems and processes. Her definition is the line I think is worth the most. This role isn't defined by skills. It's defined by accountability to customer outcomes. Third, Cursor's VP of Forward Deployed Engineering, Pauline Brunet, who just welds the 2 phrases together. Her team embeds with customers in financial services, telecom, and semiconductors, helping them build an entire AI software factory inside their own companies. Usual disclosure time. All 3 of these folks sell shovels, so of course they're telling shovel stories. There's also an investor coming up later, and his fund is heavily long NVIDIA. And the relay layer, me included, is cherry-picking details. Keep your guard up. On the surface, everyone's saying AI is changing how we work, which says exactly nothing. The real split sits somewhere more fundamental: the unit of work. One camp still treats the unit as the job. A person, a title, a set of duties, and AI is a tool that makes that person faster. The other camp has already swapped the unit out for the production line. What's worth managing is no longer what some engineer wrote today, but how many changes this automated line pushed through and how many defects it intercepted.
There's a number in the Cursor report that lands right on this divide. Of everything developers feed the AI, 90% is context, not instructions. The human job has already drifted from writing code to feeding the line its materials. Caveat attached. The data comes from Cursor's own users, who skew heavy. Read the trend, not the absolute numbers.
Swap the unit, and every downstream concept collapses with it. How do you measure performance? What do you hire for? What does senior even mean? That's the actual news this week. Chair 1, the factory camp. In Lloyd's world, the engineer's endgame is production line operator. Set the specs, watch the metrics, handle the line alarms. The act of writing code itself goes to the machine assembly line. Chair 2, the forward deployed camp. In Muir and Brunet's world, the most valuable engineers are actually further from the code and closer to the customer. They go halfway inside the customer's business, and being accountable for outcomes is what makes them irreplaceable. Note that these 2 camps don't contradict each other. The factory handles capacity. Forward deployment makes that capacity take root in a specific customer's soil. Chair 3, the data camp. The cold numbers from the Cursor report. Weekly code output doubled. Auto-merged AI code is up 5 times in a year, and the top developers put out 46 times the AI output of the average one. Both ends of the curve are taking off. The middle is getting averaged away. Chair 4, the investor camp. Dan Loeb of Third Point, managing over $25 billion, translates this shift into the language of capital. The die-hard value investors who refuse to evolve are dead, and investors who don't learn AI are doomed. But he left himself one hedge. Human nature is alpha's last moat. Negotiation, judgment, people. Machines can't replace that. Chair 5, the ones affected. The ordinary engineers in the middle of the curve. Not at the factory console, not sent to a customer site, and the work in their hands is getting sucked into the line, piece by piece. All 3 new forms have seats for them. What's missing is the ladder to climb over from the middle. And that ladder, no company is mass producing yet. Historical reference points. I'll give you 3, and you pick which ones to believe. First, 100 years ago, craft workshops to assembly lines. Craftsmen became process steps. Craft became standardized parts. Today, code craftsman turns into line operator, and the script is replaying almost word for word. And how did it end back then? The craftsmen didn't all lose their work, but the identity of craftsman disappeared, replaced by engineer, quality inspector, floor supervisor. Every name changed. The second reference point is sneakier and worth a couple extra sentences. In 1987, the economist Solow said something famous. You can see the computer age everywhere, but in the productivity statistics. Another piece I listened to this week ports that paradox into the AI era and gives it a name. Dark output.
2 types. Substitution type. AI takes the price of a basic will from hundreds of dollars down to a few cents. The service is still there, the value is still there, but the price collapsed, and that slice of GDP just evaporates. The statistics are blind to deflationary abundance. Additive type. Work that never existed before. The ledger has no box for it. The last big overhaul of the statistical system was in the 1990s, and it booked about $3.6 trillion of output in one shot.
What does this have to do with your job? A lot. Because if your output in the production line era is one of the invisible kinds, who gets credit for the work your agents do? Your performance review and your salary negotiation sit on a measurement system that's going blind. At the national level, they call it GDP distortion. At your level, it means your year-end bonus doesn't add up. The third reference point is unproven, but worth watching. White-collar piece rates making a comeback. In the production line era, everything is measurable. Throughput, merge counts, interception rate. Taylor's stopwatch may be getting digitally reincarnated. I won't call this one. I'm just putting it on the table. My take. For the next 2 years, stop asking whether your job is safe. That question is past its expiration date. Here's what to ask instead. Where am I on the line? At the console, at the customer site, or in the middle getting averaged away? The first 2 positions carry a premium. The third one is leaking. I'm watching 3 signals for you. 1, the real adoption rate of orchestration platforms. To see if the factory thesis holds, look at how many teams are actually running automated lines a year from now. Don't just trust the keynotes. 2, hiring volume for forward deployed engineer titles. The number of openings with that title is a thermometer for how much closeness to the customer is worth. 3, whether the official statistics start to move. The day the statistical agencies start seriously discussing dark output is the day this new shape of work gets its official stamp. I'm the one who listens around, so you don't have to. See you next time.